like you have to be like serious though. Okay. Yes.
Thanks. Wait, I'll ask Jamie. Wait, should I get my phone and stuff? You do the first point, Obi, and I'll come back. Okay. I'll be right back.
Is Denise casting? It's so hard for him. Yeah, I like the black thing. And then if you want to go, they're gonna start on that side, and then you can stay on that, and then they're gonna go to the frisbee there and just track the frisbee. Okay, and then we're gonna be live now. Okay. And welcome back to the Misfit Cup. This is the open final. We have Dino from Vancouver playing against Helios from Kamloops. Dino's coming out with the first pull, and that sails out of bounds. So we're going to see Helios's offense, see what they can do, and we'll get straight into it. And Helios with the middle, passing it to the near side here. Number 9, back to the middle, 16. Looking for options, gets it down to the center. 22 to the open side. And just sails a bit too far. Dino with a chance on the break. "19 elects not to throw that. Swings it to the middle. Looking for the continuation here. Looking for a big shot. And completed. Trying to get that ISO. Elects to reset. To the middle, 3, 95 with the disc. Dino with their offense. Being very disciplined with the disc here. If the option's not there, going for reset. And what a layout D. He had a hand on that, but did he get there first? And just a dish in, and that is the first goal for Dino. Not in yet. Not in yet. Still very disciplined. And just to the break side, and there it is. Dino, first goal. Make that 1-0.
Say whatever, yeah.
Hello, everyone. I think, honestly, what is working really well for Dino here is they're able to use the whole field. And so if we can Helios can stop the movement onto the break side, I think that'll really stifle up Dino's offense and just play a little bit tighter downfield, because right now Dino's doing a great job of taking what's open and moving it to the break side, to the open side, and just really getting into their flow and controlling the pace of the game.
And then let's quickly look at this replay here of that last goal. After that didn't get called in, just looking off that throw, back to the middle, and really working on that break side. So, Danae, what are you looking for in this match?
I think, honestly, I'm looking to see a lot of big plays. I mean, Helios is a big team. Not that Dino's not as big, but in the air, I feel like Helios could really win those one-on-ones if they're sending those deep. It'll be interesting to see their outlook here and see how Dino goes down. I'm predicting they're going to go down person here. It is a little bit windy, so we'll see. It's going to hang a little bit more in the air, and we'll see if they huck it deep. That would be my predicted play here.
Okay, let's take a look. We have Jonathan Chua with the pull. And Helios looking to
to show that they can get this hold. And the pull goes up. Helios collects to the middle. Little dish. Out to number 3 on this close side. Dino having somewhat of a poachy on the open side. Helios working off the far side. And number 9, big Blady Huck. And number 3 comes down with it with 2 Dino defenders there. Patience from the Helios player, looking for a reset. Dishes it out to 10. Around to the middle, number 3, who had that crazy grab. Looking for something, floats on the open side, and what? Ooh, just a drop from the contact to the ground.
That's always a tough one, Shahan. I mean, Helios is doing a great job there of waiting for the open person, but unfortunate they could not connect. Hopefully here they can pressure Dino and get the hold.
And here Dino working it up with these L cuts on the break side. Force seems to have been switched or held. And just a nice floaty shot. Dino with a break.
I think the biggest thing for Helios here is just protecting the open side. I mean, we saw that Dino D-line work it up all the way on the open side, and Helios just kind of trailing behind. Helios did have that massive grab in the air, which is what we talked about earlier. They're being big in the air. They're shooting those shots and getting underneath them, which is going to work great for them. But unfortunately, they just could not connect in the end zone. Big layout play, double layout, and just unfortunate.
And then with that, we can see the Dino goal. Just working it up on that break side. It was L cut after L cut. And eventually just a nice floaty throw to the end zone. A lot of space. That's 2-0 Dino.
It looks like Helios is taking a timeout here. Probably a good coaching decision just to regroup the team. Offensively, they're not looking too bad. Dino is definitely protecting the break side a little bit more on their marks than Helio was, and they're pressuring the open, which is making the passes harder upfield. And so if Helios can kind of figure out how to get into their flow and own the pace of their game, I feel like they'll have a lot of success. I mean, they're a big team, and so those deep shots are honestly looking pretty good for them, and they're not getting too stifled by the wind. And so we'll see how Dino comes out here and if they can take another break.
Yeah. We can see, camera's not on it right now, but a lot of the Helios people are already sitting down. It's been 2 points. They've been working hard, don't get me wrong. But that could be physical, that can also be mental.
Very true.
We'll see how
I think
that
they
goes.
also have a little bit of a shorter bench than Dino might have, and they are kind of capitalizing and relying on a few key players. So for Helios, hopefully those players can rest up and get back out there. The wind is crosswind on the field right now, although, as we said, there isn't a big effect, but there is a kind of high side, low side element to it. Last point, Dino was forcing onto the high side, and Helios just kept kind of trying to jam up the open side until they had that big release huck. It'll be interesting to see what they draw up here. Obviously, number 3 on Helios had that big, crazy grab, so maybe they'll look to run it back through him. We'll have to see.
Yeah. After this timeout, hopefully Helios has regrouped, figured out what they need to change, and I wish we had rosters for both teams and numbers. Unfortunately, I will call we'll call them by just their numbers. But yeah. You have Dino with the pull here, trying to get 2 breaks back to back.
I think Dino's going to go for the person defense again. I mean, it's been working so far for them in getting a turn on Helios, so we'll see what they come out with.
And a big pull from Dino. Helios now collecting, centering it to 16. Big fake, under to 22. And a cut and a throw that I think was just not intended for that receiver. Seemed as if he was trying to throw it to the person going deep. Unfortunate turnover. But now Dino with another chance to break. Out to 10 on the far side, and 55 just bobbles it out of the hands. And Helios with another opportunity to get this hold, and commentator's curse, they say. Unfortunately, just out of the fingertips. Dino, second opportunity to break this point. Shot to the middle. 12 with the disc. Looking for his reset. German into space. 9 looking deep for number 10. Can he get there? And just too far. Good attempt there by number 10. And Helios needs to figure out how they can get it up the field a bit more.
I think Helios just needs to calm it down here and just look at what's open and not trying to rush anything upfield. Their cutters are set up pretty far away from the handler, which is kind of making this huck shot a little less viable and gives the Dino players a chance to pressure these unders a little more.
And Helios close to their end zone on this near side. Trying to find someone. Release valve in 22 just out of his hands. Unfortunately, it was a bit behind him. And Dino with a short field to try to convert this. 9 picks up to an open McCready. Finds it up line 14. And what a catch. Just behind the back. Trying to, a little flaunty. I know it wasn't on purpose, but wow.
Very nonchalant, honestly.
That's the word.
I think, honestly, a short field turn, it's hard for Helios, but just again, protecting that open side, they're kind of trailing behind Dino, and we're seeing a lot of similar players for Helios go on and on again. Number 3, for example, the man with the nice mullet hair, and 22, they're really running them a lot, so they're maybe just getting a little bit tired out there. Their offense is just not in flow yet. Like, I feel like we haven't seen the true Helios flow, and so hopefully they can get some of that back. Dino's been taking away their first few looks, and I feel like they haven't been able to recover when they're not hitting a nice under or like that initial reset. So if they could kind of get into that, I think they'll find a lot of success and hopefully be able to get a hold.
No, I agree. As you mentioned, it was Dino was taking away their unders, and they were set up very deep, and that gives them no real option. A deep look also into the wind isn't a look at this stage, and they haven't gotten any completions, so it's going to be scary to make that first look.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the biggest thing was positionally there, Shahan. They're just too deep, and even like the greatest huckers, you can't be throwing those all the way and expecting completions, and it just kind of takes away the viability of any deep shot, which Dino is able to pressure more on those unders. So hopefully here, Helios comes calm, composed, and we can see some nice offensive flow. I wouldn't be surprised if they do try a big huck play. I know they gain a lot of momentum off of a big play, a big instance like that, as do many open teams, and I feel like that could help kind of sway the momentum towards them. It is kind of a crosswind coming towards the screen, so kind of left to right-ish. So we'll see how that affects. Honestly, it hasn't really had too much of an effect on maybe one Helios throw. It pushed it down a little bit, but the players are doing a good job. It is kind of gusting, and they're doing a good job combating that.
Yes. So here from Helios, we need to see something. They need that momentum shift. They need one hold on the board to get them going. Right now, their sideline is tired. And fair enough. As you said, short roster. They're working through it. They have to fight a bit more in their semifinals. Helios picking up. In the middle, looking for options. Helios still set up quite deep. 22 with the disc, looking for anything far. Nothing there. Under's not there. Got to throw something up. High stall count, and just out of the hands of 3 there.
I think the wind got the better of that one, honestly. And you can see number 3 there a little angry about not catching it, but I think the wind popped it up, and it was a high stall, high pressure situation where they needed that release.
Dino looking for the 3rd break in a row again. 12 with the disc, far sideline, and caught out of bounds. So Helios has another life here. Looking for something deep, that's what we were talking about, but not there. Trying to get it off, and there it goes up. into the wind. 5's underneath it, and ooh, just out of the hands again.
You can see the wind really pushing it over towards the sideline, and 5 did a good read on that, but just unfortunately slips through his fingertips. But at least it's a bit of a more downfield turn for Helios, so they could pressure Dino here and really just put pressure on their open side unders. I think they could get a turn.
Dino looking for something. Gets a nice under, number 12. Deep. Open under. Molo with the disc. Toss it to the middle, number 9. Trying to get that continuation, gets it off. McCready with the disc. Nice around to number... What number is that? Number 10
number
for
10,
the goal. Yeah. That's a good flow to the break side. That's something that I think on Helios they need to try to contain a bit more. If you want to take another look at that really quickly. They start off on this open side here and just move it to the middle and just break side, break side, break side, and a nice break side backhand for the goal.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that was a really nice shot by McCready there. And I think on the Helios, maybe just taking a few extra steps to protect that break side, just so that can't get off, because it is very free downfield because all the cutters are set up on the open side playing defense. I think Helios is just a little bit tired here and just really needs to keep working on protecting the open side and protecting the break side if you're on the mark, and they could play a more cohesive team defense to try and generate a team D, because if they're looking and locking up the first few initial plays for Dino and hitting that reset really tightly, then we could generate some sort of turnover.
Yeah.
We see again a similar kind of line for Helios coming out. I wouldn't be surprised again if they try a huck play. It is kind of like what they're known for. But they are trying to work the unders, and Dino is just doing a good job of pressuring that. They had a little poach earlier, so we'll see what happens here when the pull comes up.
Yeah. I think they need to just try to go for that deep shot, as we've seen it once and it worked. He came down with it, but other than that, they've been trying to work the unders and it just hasn't been working. I think that's at a point where you just have to try something new.
Yeah, I mean, they have been really hesitant about it, so maybe here we'll see something go up. Oh, and there it is. A really nice huck by number 3,
But a
and just
chase
intercepted by the Dino player there.
Chase down D wasn't even his guy. And Dino going the other way now. Nice under, number 4. Throws it deep and ooh. Good attempt there by number 18. Almost had that in his hands.
I think Dino just got a little happy close to the end zone and just maybe released one that they could have holstered there. Helios here again with the frisbee, just resetting the frisbee backwards, trying to maintain calm. The cutters are still set up a little bit deep. Very contested pass there, but Helios comes with it.
And just, oh, what a grab. A little miscommunication throw, but the Helios had some eyes behind his back or something. Still got that in his hands. Travel called. Interesting. As I said last game, sideline does not have perspective, so...
We know nothing over here.
No.
Although there was a new rule introduced, I'm pretty sure in USAU, about travel calls and how the mark is a less viable person to call that call. Although I'm not sure exactly on that, so don't quote me, Shahan.
Sounds good. We'll put that in the past. And another big shot there. And number 3 just slightly boxed out by 7. Shows a bit of anger, knows that he could have got there, but...
I think it was a little bit of a misread on 3's part. He kind of got dragged into the defender, who was taking more of like running towards the sideline instead of hanging left where it inevitably ended. And he just got dragged in when if he just maintained his positioning, I think he could have got there.
Yeah.
But we'll see how Helios plays defensively here. We see that they're kind of playing more even on the first cutter and then backing more downfield, trying to combat, and Dino's doing a good job. Oh, turnover by Dino. Just bounced off the hands there. Really unfortunate. We'll see if Helios can convert on the short field turn.
Helios on this close sideline. Gets it to the middle to 20. Looking for 22, not there. To the open side, number 3. Trying to find something they like. The wind is very gusty right now, and just a miscommunication to Helios players went to the same direction at the same time. No one knew who to grab it. Unfortunately, the grass did.
I think they're just getting a little happy near the end zone and need to maintain a little bit more composure. Oh, big huck from Dino. Will it come back in? Unfortunately not. So Helios, is going to be able to take that all the way back up where it turned over close to the brick mark.
Yes.
And we'll see they have a second chance at life here about converting that. I think if they're able to stay composed and run a clean end zone system, they'll see the most success.
Helios with one more chance. Trying to get this hold, get one on the board. Get that momentum shifting, get the energy up. And this is still a game. Make it a 3-point game. Can go anyway. 21 at the disc. 5 yards out of the end zone. Looking for someone. Gets a reset off 22. No real system. Number 3 gets it in the middle. Looking on the open side. Back to 22. It's been 22 and 3 so far. Looking for 3 again, and there it is. Helios finally puts one up on the board, making it 1-4.
Great work by Helios. I think they were definitely more calm and composed, and obviously having just one cutter cutting at a time makes it way easier. You can see 3 is kind of playing a crucial part in their offense and their offensive momentum. He was the one, again, at the beginning with the big sky. He was the one they looked for before, and so a lot of plays kind of going through him, and he had that score out blind, which was great work. And so him kind of getting involved there is, here's another look at it, him going up line and just able to gain separation from that Dino defender, and a nice throw by 22 to get it around and still into the field. I think if they are able to play like that, calm, cool, maintained, and they're highlighting on their skills and their advantages compared to Dino, they'll be able to see a lot more success. I am interested to see their defensive set here, Shahan.
Yeah. This is our first time seeing their defense.
It is.
It is. Out of pure guess, I'm going to assume we might see a zone here.
I would also suspect that. I mean, Helios is a tall team. They're athletic, and it is a little bit windy, so I would expect a zone defense. You can see number 3 again is going to have the pull up here, and it'll be interesting to see this Dino offense and see if they can work through the zone even through the wind.
Yes. Very strong wind. It's getting a bit chilly here. I'm going to take a second. I need to put this hoodie on as it is getting quite cold. Okay, sorry about that. Just had to put a little bit of a warmth shelter on. And now we'll be able to see Helios's defensive line.
Yeah, I am curious to see what they throw. Helios had a little bit of a closer semis against Canyon, winning 12-7, compared to the Dino semis against Blitz, where they won 13-1, very strong. As you can tell probably, it's very windy out here now and big gusts. So if Helios does come down in the zone, we'll see how effective that can be.
And we get to take a look at the Dino O-line again. Chua to the middle. 95, no mark. A little miscommunication. Boone with the disc.
I think it is interesting that Helios didn't elect to go for a zone
Yeah.
here because, oh, nice poach off block. That was a very heads-up play by number 3, recognizing where the thrower is going to throw and coming off his person to intercept that. Now number 3 is going every other, just trying to get some movement for this Helios D-line here.
Very big part of this D-line and O-line, working hard. 22, looking back for 3. 3 wants the disc. Trying to find something he likes. Not there. Not for the under. Little OI flick. Backhand fake from 22. Looking for something big now. And elects for the hammer. And what a grab. Second effort. And that's a Helios break.
Wow, what a point. As you can see, the intended target was number 3, but we did get a second hand on that. That was a huge hammer, probably from around half field, all the way into the end zone when honestly around stall 9, stall 10 probably. Here we can take another look at it again. Number 22 just looking upfield, kind of has nothing. Then all of a sudden number 3 goes deep and he's yelling for it. And we can see that huge hammer and then just a tip off the hands and then caught and a little bump into the end zone. Big play for Helios, kind of what we were talking about before. They love their deep shots. They love being big in the air. And they're doing a great job so far at that. I think it was interesting they didn't elect for a zone look, but the person defense did play off. Very heads-up play by number 3. But they have been playing person defense against Dino on every turn as well, and that hasn't been so effective. So I am curious if they throw a zone, how that could kind of stifle up Dino's flow. But a great break for Helios.
Yeah. And that's the game that I was expecting. That let's throw it and use our athleticism. If we have that on top of it, we might as well. And now they just move it to 2 now. It's 2-4, Dino at 4, 2-point game. It can go any other way.
It can go any other way. If Helios gets this break here, it would be big for them to get broken twice as an O-line. Just messes with your mental, to say the least. And just obviously now this O-line is feeling a little bit more pressure from Helios. And then we'll see what they can do here.
Dino coaches having a chat with their O-line, seeing what went wrong that point. And Dino getting ready for the pull. Number 22 getting ready for the pull. And the pull goes up. Let's see what this Dino O-line can do this time. 19 to the middle, there's Chua. Tree being ran to 13. Santi with the disc. Looking for something far, and he gets it. And nice grab by Ezekiel, and that is a clean offensive hold. That is what Dino's O-line is looking for, and they can show that they can do that. Let's take another look at this really quickly. And it was just nice open side flow under there. Another open side, and just a nice floater huck to make it 5-2.
Yeah, very composed offense there from Dino. Looks like very little pressure from Helios there. So that was a clean hold, get them back on their feet. And I know Dino's hoping to come out here and get another break. And Helios is obviously hoping to hold them off and just tighten up this game a little bit.
And while we wait for this point to start, I want to talk about joint works.
Oh, I love joint works.
So joint works helps athletes move better, recover faster, and perform at their peak. For RMT and emergency care trusted by UBC and Team Canada, visit jointworks.ca. You were on Team Canada, right?
I was, Jahan.
Was Jointworks there?
Jointworks has been great. I mean, shout out to Jack Lee at Jointworks.
I love Jack Lee.
He is great. Honestly, they're at this tournament right now providing care. One of our players just got injured last game, and he assessed them, and it was amazing. They're great. If you want some care, go hit them up.
Back to the game.
So Dino here with the pull. I'm expecting them to come out in their person defense, as they've been doing all game. And they're really backing and just trying to pressure these Helios unders. Helios here probably looking for another big play to number 3. We have an update. His name is Kaz Dunnett. So we're looking for Dunnett here possibly, as he's been very integral to their flow offensively.
And just a fumble out of the hands, but gets it off the tip. But unfortunately, that was caught out of bounds. Dino with a short field to play with here. Dino picking up. Looking for the upline, not there. Centers it to the middle. McCready. Fakes the break side. Goes for a reset. Trying to play a bit of give and go here. It's an open upline. Decides not to take it. Back to 14. Far side. Front cone. Center it. Very disciplined end zone here, and that just comes to show.
You could see a little poach there from Helio. Kaz done it. Unfortunately, it didn't really stifle too much, and they were able to move it around. An interesting thing about Helios is on their marks, they are very wrapped, which they're really taking away their round and playing very perpendicular to the person with the frisbee, which is kind of opening up those inside shots for Dinos and just an easier offensive flow. Because if I have the frisbee and I'm going to throw it to the open side and my mark is all the way on the break side of me, it's more easier for me to charge the up line, and they have less of a play on that, which Dino was kind of doing in their offensive movement a little bit more.
Yes. And yeah, these are just the small things that I feel like little tweaks could make a big difference in this game. And hopefully Helios coaches are letting them know to make these changes and make Dino do at least something different.
Yeah, I think just continuing to switch up sometimes and pressure could be really helpful, and just small things can make big changes on the field. And so it will be interesting to see what Helios does. I mean, so far from their offense, they haven't looked to do too much different. They're kind of setting up in a horizontal stack pretty regularly. So it would be interesting to see if they have another look that they can go to.
And with that, if Dino gets this break, they'll force half, which will be big, which then means they start on D, I think. No,
Yeah.
They started on offense.
Yes, so then Helios will come out on O. It's just
Yes.
a mirrored half, so no break here for either team. But honestly, both teams are looking pretty fresh. Helios might have a little bit more tired legs compared to Dino, but honestly, both teams are doing a great job on the field of really pressuring and giving 100%. It will be interesting to see this Helio offense and what they can do, and if they can hopefully get a hold here just to keep the game alive.
Yeah. Helios looking for this. Wind's died down a bit, so still a bit of a cross. They're going slightly downwind. Hopefully we can see some nice offense from Helios here. Collecting in the middle. 16 with the disc, serving his options. Get this, looking for his under. Not there. Looking for his reset instead. 22 with the disc. Nice fake. Helios cutter is still very deep. Nice cut there. Gets the disc on an under, number 1. 16 with the disc, looking for something big. It's not there. Gets the under, number 3. And a flick goes up, and a goal to 22. There it is. He's making a difference.
Great throw there by number 3 on Helios. And I think that point, the biggest difference was Helios was just able to connect on those unders, and Dino wasn't able to take them away. I mean, they're offensively are set up deeper in the cutter field, as Shahan was saying, but it did allow them to have a lot of open unders. We can look at that play again for the score. We have an open under to number 3 here, and then he's just able to find 22 in the end zone on a nice longer-ish pass and convert and hold that for Helios. I think they did a great job there of staying composed, and because they are so deep, the unders that they're gaining are just a little bit longer, and it's working out for them so far.
And I think this is the momentum that they needed. It's a bit of belief that we can score. And from there, I think this is going to be a good game now. I think both teams have that fight in them, and they both want it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how much pressure Helios can apply here, because getting a few breaks and a few runs can be really good for a team and really shift the momentum in a game, especially if you get the O-line really on their heels and really feeling some defensive pressure. It can really shift the field. It would be great here. Dino has to hold here to gain to half.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see this Helios look. Before they didn't play zone, I know they have played zones earlier in the tournament, so they do kind of have that in their back pocket. So interesting to see if they come out here in person or if they elect for the zone. The person did work because of a nice heads-up open side poach, but in previous points when they've turned it over, their person has been a little bit weaker. So we'll see what they do here.
Helios ready for the pull. Dino coach is still talking through this offensive play. Wonder what we're going to see here. Last time it was just a tree.
Yeah, we see Josh Falk and Vince Bullock talking to them, trying to draw something up for Dino. And now the hand is up. So we'll see here. Big pull from Helios. And will it be in? Yes. Just in and rolled past Dino. This could be a great moment to really pressure them and get them on their heels off the bat.
Brennan Cho with the disc. Gives it to number 7, Mossman. Looking for something upfield. Nothing there. Gets Cho. Looking for something big and elects to shoot that. And just on a plate there. What a shot from Brennan.
Yeah, the Dino player really did have steps on the Helios player, and a great throw by Dino into the end zone wide open there. They were able to place it just in front of them. We can take another look here. We can see the Dino player was striking, and Helios just caught behind and then all the way into the end zone. Beautiful putt, well timed, especially given the wind. So that's half for Dino. We'll do a mirrored half and see what Helios can cook up in the second half. Just in from the coaches, they are going to take a slight break.
And we will be back with you guys shortly. And welcome back.
The second half of this game, Dino versus Helios. Dino is currently up 7-3 against Helios right now, and Dino, I believe, is pulling to come out of half. So it'll be interesting to see if Helios makes any halftime changes to their offense or defensively as well. I mean, they have just been playing person on both sides of the field, so it'll be interesting to see if they switch that up or if they maintain the same. Helios obviously looking to gain some momentum on their side this half so he can tighten up the score and put a little bit of pressure on Dino. Dino has been controlling the pace of the game more, aside from a few Helios points. They have been controlling the offensive pace and defensively putting a lot of pressure on Helios and locking up their first few looks, which has been successful for them.
I agree. I'm very curious in seeing what the Helios team is talking about at the moment. What they're working on, what they're going to change, and make this change work. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, unfortunately, it's not going to work. So I need to see a change from Helios, change their defense, change their offense. As I mentioned before, get Dino to do something different. And we'll see what they talked about.
Yes, and it does look like, my apologies, Dino is coming out on offense here. So we will see a Helios D point. Interesting to see if they made any halftime adjustments or what they'll be coming out with. Obviously, they're looking to put a lot of pressure and get an early break into the half, which would be great for them. Earlier, when they were able to generate turns from Dino, it was a lot of heads-up play. Dino is really working the open side, and so when they were able to poach off a little bit and get those blocks in the lanes, they were able to convert the turns. And then obviously they had that one big hammer and a big huck that were both connected. Only one converted into a point. But doing more of those kinds of plays and catching Dino on their heels, they might find a little bit more success, especially when they're sending people deep and they have a good continuation afterwards. And Dino trailing behind, they could see some good success there, especially off of a quick turn here.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what they come out with. We see William Tang out there as well as Vince, and we'll see what they drew up for the Dino O-line.
Dino ready to receive the pull. And Helios with a big pull down. Back corner, perfect pull. Send it to Joe. That's an under to number 4. Faking it, not there. Reset, back to Brennan. 18 on the far sideline. Mossman in the middle. Dino really using that break side. That was one thing I really wanted to see Helios change, is to contain that break side a bit mid. And Hazen with a big throw. Looking for 41, and there it is. What a grab there.
Dino player really able to get up. The Helios player was trailing behind. I think that Frisbee hung up in the air a little bit longer than they would have liked, but let's take another look. So we can see that big huck come up from this Dino receiver here. Just puts it right out into space for the Dino player, who clearly had steps, and just able to get up nice and early. Good read on the Frisbee. Unfortunately, the Helios player, just where the Frisbee was placed, didn't have as much of a play on the disc, and the Dino player was able to attack it and just bring it down with them. I think, like Shahan mentioned, the break side flow for Dino is kind of what's stifling Helios at the moment. They did a good job originally when the disc was on the open side of locking up the first few cuts, but then as Dino was able to get that break side movement, they really opened up the field and opened up their flow, and Helios was really just kind of trailing behind. So Helios O-line now will be interesting to see what they're kind of drawing up. They have mainly been playing horizontal stack that kind of merges into a vert. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but we'll see hopefully if they can get into that unders flow that they were doing before, and then just with a release when they have steps deep, I think that'll bring them the best amount of success here.
And I'd really like them to start setting up a bit shallower, giving them actually the opportunity to either go deep or that under, and just threatening both instead of just one.
This Dino D-line getting tossed to by Josh Falk, and I bet they'll be coming down in a tight person defense as they've been doing all game. It's really been working for them, pressuring them, and we'll see what happens here.
If I'm not mistaken, this Dino D-line does look like their O-line. They're the usual O-line, at least. I see some individuals on there that tend to play on that O-line, so giving them a chance to work for the D first to then be able to convert while being a bit tired.
Yeah, I think there has been less O points for Dino, and so they're having some players cross over and maybe trying to see what defense is like and seeing if they can get that block for them.
And a nice pull there by Zhang. And center number 16 back on the far side. Trying to find something. There's not much upfield. Blade across to the middle, number 16. Being that main center handle, trying to make sure everything's going smoothly. 3 and what a D. And we're going to talk about this. quick little replay here of what happened. And wow, that big huck just came up. 4 people underneath it, and a layout grab. Is it in though? It is not in, but what a layout grab from that floating huck. Helios now looking to punch it in. Quick little reset, number 10. And back to 22, and he cashes that in.
Wow, great job by Helios to just remain composed in that end zone. I mean, after that really big play, it's easy to get heightened up in the moment, but they were able to calm it down and just find the open pass. Let's take another look at this play by Helios. You can see him getting it, and then afterwards, he's just able to find the receiver in the end zone, just open on the open side, which is this really great flow and composure. And unfortunately, the Dino defender was just kind of caught behind and kind of caught lacking there. I mean, we know Helios is making big plays, and so if Dino can just shut those down, it wouldn't give them that much momentum. Again, another look. Helios coming out now on defense. Okay, now for real, another look at that big huck. We can see the receiver just they're all underneath, and then just, big layout grab after the first misread. That was just a great heads-up play by Helios, able to get under it after the initial didn't work out, and then just remain calm and find the open person in the end zone. They're coming out here with a D-line with some players we haven't really seen before, so it'll be interesting to see. I think they're giving some of their more heavily played players a little bit of a rest here to recuperate and then hopefully come back out the next point. So we'll see what this Helios D-line can do, if they're going to throw anything new at Dino or if they're just kind of remain with their person.
And I want to see this D-line just put their body out there. If you got fresh legs out there and you're being put on the field, you have to give it your all. And hopefully they can get something out of this. We have 22 getting ready for the pull. If they can get another break, momentum can shift. So let's see what happens here.
I just heard from the coach they are throwing a zone out here. So we'll see what this looks like for Helios and how they can get down and how Dino will affect. It looks like a more of an arrowhead zone look, which allows the handlers to swing side to side more freely and trying to contest the plays more in the middle. You can see this mark is being very aggressive and really trying to put pressure on the Dino players. But the Dino players are doing a good job of staying composed and just kind of trying to find it through the middle. That's the biggest way to break this kind of arrowhead zone, is if they can get through the middle and avoid the sidelines.
And we're going to see a lot of chiseling from this Dino team. They love the chisel, work it up, gain a bit of yards off that end.
We can see a little turnover there from the Dino player, number 33. It almost looks like to me like he hit his own leg
yeah.
and the disc fell out, which arguably is no call. And so we'll see Helios here with a short field turn. Hopefully they can convert this to the break.
22 in the middle of this. No real cuts happening on the field. Looking for 11, not there, and just decides to blade huck it to the end zone and just a bit too far.
I mean, number 22 didn't really have a lot of options there, Shahan. No one was really cutting, and the cuts were delayed and not able to gain separation from the defender. So it's hard as a thrower to want to throw that when they are heavily contested. You can see them here going to set again, I believe, into their zone.
Does look like that, yes.
And so we'll see if Dino is able to work it through. I mean, they had an unforced error before by just hitting his own leg. So we'll see how they can chisel up through the middle.
Dino walking it up in their own end zone, going upwind at the moment.
The wind is gusting a little bit more than it had previously, so that's putting a lot of pressure on these Dino handlers as they're in their own end zone. So kind of Cali territory if you're Helios. The Helios mark is doing a good job of applying pressure to the handlers and really trying to stifle them and get in their heads a little bit. And they haven't been able to get anything big downfield yet. But as you can see, they are just chiseling and working these little passes upfield. Still in their end zone, however. But they are moving up Just unfortunately, Helios is doing a great job of preventing them anything through the middle and them gaining more than maybe 5 yards per pass.
And I kind of wish they pulled out this zone earlier. As we kept on talking about it, we were expecting it, and it's made Dino do something different. They've now broken through the middle.
Big break through the middle there for Dino. Again, Helios has recovered and they've reset their zone here, but that's a strategy for Dinos. If they can get those bigger passes through the middle to those mids, like, oh,
Nice low grab by Velasquez.
and
a
then just a
blade.
missed calm. A little bit too far of the throw there. And just Helios back working on offense for a break.
Once again, 22 getting stranded a bit, but gets a nice break across. It's a reset in the middle. Looking high stall count, gets a scuba out on our near sideline here. Number 11. 22 going every other, making sure there's a safe reset. Flick to number 5. Back to 22. Nothing deep for him there. And these unders are big gainers. And 22 going every other. Nice layout D effort from 26 there. Can 22 just work it up the field himself? And a hammer across the field. Number 5. Just going to assume it's going to go back to 22. There it is. From half field till now, 22 has been every other, and there it is. Oh, I apologize. There it is.
There it is for real, Shahan. I think Helios there just did a good job of maintaining compose. 22 was really active within their offensive flow, going every other, really integral to them moving upfield. As we talked about, their zone was very effective there and stifling Dino's offense. We can take another look now at the score there from 22. So they're just doing a good job of seeing the open pass, not in the end zone there, but then they were able to get that second one. So for Helios, their zone was really making Dino swing more and move handler to handler and really taking away less of their middle shots, which I think worked well. We'll see what the Dino O-line adjusts here and how they adjust. I would expect Helios to come back out with the zone because it works so well for them. I think offensively, Helios near the end zone had a little bit less movement than I would have liked to see. I think they were a little bit stagnant for the first few stalls, especially when they were on that open side there. But they did a good job of just keeping the frisbee. They had that nice hammer to the break side, which was completed, thankfully. Was a little bit of a higher stall prey moment, but they did it well. So I'm curious to see if this now D-line can get another break using that zone and what Dino's going to adjust. I mean, for Dino here with this arrowhead, it's really easy to just swing back and forth forever, but they do need to try and find those shots through the middle, which they were getting near the end. Just they had that unfortunate turnover that just went a little too far from the fingertips.
I'm also interested in seeing that this might be a person defense. It seemed as if that line before was their zone line, and then it seems as if these D players have been playing person. I think maybe they trust them in that, and so it could be either or. Hopefully they pull out a zone. The zone worked really well.
And I think that's kind of what Helios needed, just to switch it up. I mean, especially when you're down a few points, if you can switch up your defensive set, it just kind of messes up with the offense, and they were able to get a break. We see them here again in a zony look, and we see the Dino just swinging back and forth, really maintaining compose. I mean, I think if you're Dino, you have to expect another zone after you get it broken. So we'll see if they can find anything here.
And just a little ball by Chube. Make sure he collects that one. Goes across to Stokes. And on his near sideline, number 7. Little chisel. Tight on the sideline. The mark's doing a good job making sure that inside doesn't come off. And swinging it all the way to the other side. We need this swinging side to side, but we need to gain a bit of... There it is. There it is. We need that vertical movement there. Horizontal is just not enough. And if we're losing that many yards on a swing, we need to attack on the other side. We need to gain a bit more. But Dino's still being patient, making sure these shots are 100%.
I think the main thing for these Dino handlers is after they're swinging side to side, they need to be able to look into the middle. When the arrowhead is trying to catch up on that swing throw, if they throw the opposite way the arrowhead's running into the middle, that's when they're able to see a lot of gainers, especially also when they're throwing to the sideline. If they follow that pass up line into the middle of the arrowhead, they're able to also push through the middle a little bit more.
Yeah.
We see Dino on the doorstep of the end zone now. Helios has melted out into a person, and a big layout D from number 22 to knock it out of the Dino player's hands. Great bid up line there by his part. Helios now on O, looking for the second break in a row. Holst, big huck put up all the way down. Dino player, just D'd out of the hands of the Helios player. Originally holstered that first huck, but then let the flick rip. Helios here setting up in their zone again.
And that's honestly the look that Helios should be looking for. Getting that turn, what a layout D, and just working on that transition. The opportunity was there, open deep shot, just unlucky on that D. We see Dino working this zone again, going back and forth, and there's the attacking that we need to do when we swing it side to side. Mossman back to Stokes. Stokes looking at his option, fakes the scoober. Middle to number 4. Chu. Number 7. Far side. Back to Chu. He's looking at his options. 4 gets a little blady one down the field, and the wind is not basically there. And these shots are available.
Great pass by that Dino player just down the sideline. With this arrowhead zone, there is way more room on the sideline for the players to attack into. Wide open in the end zone for the Dino score. I think that Helios D-line did a great job there with their zone and was really pressuring Dino. We could hear Alex Lamb on the sideline telling his Dino handler to just remain calm, and I think they were able to kind of figure it out more into the end when they were looking into the middle, and obviously that big release on the sideline flick helped them out a lot.
And we're nearing the later half of this game, around 13 minutes left. Dino's up 9, Helios 5. Helios is still in this game. They've shown that they can make those plays and they can give those opportunities to their team.
I mean, that big huck by Helios is honestly just unfortunate. They looked off the initial backhand huck to the player striking deep and then hit the second flick. And I think because of the big fake that the thrower threw in beforehand, the throw was delayed. And so the player wasn't able to run onto it. And so it gave the defender a chance to run onto it. And obviously running into the D with more momentum and just a standstill catch is a hard play to make.
For sure, yes. And I think if Helios just learns from that one moment, this offense could be well. They need a hold here. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see this Helios O-line. I think they should be looking for another big play. I mean, it has been working besides that last one against the Dino defenders. And so we'll see what Dino throws out here. I'm expecting another person D because we haven't really seen Dino throw any sort of zone. Although the Helios zone that they did throw in did work very well. Although because Helios plays a zone defense, you would expect their zone offense to be also good because they've been training against that. So we'll see here with a big pull from number 10 on Dino.
This wind is something else, all right. And here comes the pull from Dino. And that's a big pull with this wind.
A spin pull even, which I love to see.
And Helios collects and centers.
Helios really moving the field quickly up for the first 2 passes, and then a little bit more stagnant here, as we can see.
Back to number 3, looking for that big huck, but it's not there. Under 22. Looking for 5 on far sideline, looking for the reset, not there. A little upline and just unfortunate there. A little rushed, a little forced there. And Dino with another opportunity to break.
We see Dino striking deep early here, and they have yards of separation on the Helios team. Number 22 was close on that play, but just unfortunately could not get his hands on it. Dino did a good job of a quick transition there, and they were able to just get the D and then turn it over onto offense. We can take another look here and see the Dino picking up the disc, and as they go to pick it up, we can see someone striking deep already. They pick it up and just are able to connect on that right off the bat. The Helios player was trailing behind, maybe wasn't his check, and so they were able to get that quick convert and another break for Dino. Helios here offensively, last point, were able to move up very quickly, and Dino was suspecting a handler dom sort of set, and then it just kind of got stifled up a little bit, and they just didn't have too much movement, and then just had that pass up line, which maybe wasn't as open as the thrower intended, which gave Dino the chance to break.
I think Helios needs to work on their spacing on the cutters. The cutters are very distanced, and just there's no real order when I'm looking at their cutting sequence. It's someone gets the disc, they look up the field, and the options aren't visibly there. Someone needs to create that option, and it's usually being thrown into number 3, 22, or 5. Those are the 3 that have been getting the disc the most often, and I think it's just that organization on the field and having a set idea of where they want to go. And with that, I think with the skills and everything, they should be able to work it up the field quite well.
Yeah, I mean, they have good ability to get open on the field, and their passes are connecting to their open players. Like, they have good throwing skills. I think it's just maybe they're feeling the Dino defensive pressure a little bit too much, or they're just looking at things that they might usually throw, but are just not looking as open today because the Dino is really backing in and putting that pressure. I think they have looked for less deep hucks than I was expecting. I thought they would have looked for that a little bit more because they have been gaining some separation, and they have holstered a few that I thought were going to go up. So interested to see what their offensive line here is going to play.
And Dino out with the open pull. And a big pull by Dino. Will it stay in bounds? Yes, it will. Helios centering front of their own end zone. And 22 gets the under. All the Helios defenders cutters are very deep. Under. And what a layout D by number 12. Oh my goodness.
Big layout D for Dino there. He was able to just read that play because the Helios offensive cutters are just so far in the stack. He was able to see them coming under and just take a read on that and take that inside line. Dino here looking to break again.
And what I want to see from Dino is not to be too quick with their decisions here off of that quick, nice play. And
number 12 with a double happiness, and you can see Dino rushing the field, ecstatic about that big layout.
And let's take a look at that layout real quick again. Never mind. There it is. Just this under and shoulder height, just layout deep. Gets the disc out of there, and
great work by number 12 on Dino. And the double happiness, scoring it into the end zone for the point for the break as well, is just huge momentum moment. You can see Helios, I think, maybe taking a little timeout, a little regroup here. I think not a bad play from their coach, just because stifle that momentum that Dino got off that huge layout D. I think maybe what the Helios players are trying to do by setting up a little bit more deep is that they're recognizing Dino's backing them, and so they think maybe by setting up deeper that they're going to gain bigger unders, which has been the case for them. When they're coming under and they are gaining separation from the Dino defenders, it is larger under, but it's just taking away the viability of any outshot, which I know that they like to do, and I think they have the foot speed to be able to beat Dino in a one-on-one if they were going deep and just could lead them out into that space.
Yeah. But what a point by Dino there. Bookends, they call that, right?
They do.
They do. Why so? Bookends. Oh, because it's
of
both sides of the book.
I apologize for Shahan. He's just cluing into common knowledge now. But yes, I believe it's because it's like the cover and the end.
And he got the D, and then he also scored.
I mean, we can see number 12 is out there again for Dino. After you have a big play like that, it's hard is the other team to kind of recover from that? I mean, the Dino sideline was going wild at that bid. Huge bid from number 12, honestly. Very impressed with the athleticism that he exhibited. And then they were able to just maintain calm and hit the open, easy up line for the score there.
Yeah. And 12 back on, as you said. And if you're hot, you're hot. Like, you got to play your players. So hopefully we can see something else out of him. And Dino with a little spin pull. Going slightly upwind here. And Helios just can't collect that. Deep in their end zone, 22. Gets into number 5. You can hear the Cali chants on the sideline. And a good grab by number 3. Alex, not the Huck. And the wind just picks that disc up a bit. Dino gets the D, and are we going to call that in? On the line.
Unfortunate that the wind just got the best of that one. And, oh, miss calm by the handlers. And, oh, holsters the Huck again. I think the handlers just got a little bit confused about the upline. Oh, now the big hup from Helios is coming up. We have 2 players from each team underneath it, and we'll see. Oh, big layout grab on the second effect. Oh, I think a foul call by McCready, number 5 on Dino. I think he's calling a foul on the second attempt. I think they all jumped up very cleanly, and then it was just when the second player got the layout D, he might have had contact with McCready as he made the layout.
Yeah, let's take another look at that really quickly. So here we
can see the Huck coming up and just everyone underneath, and I think he feels just a little bit of contact. I'm not sure about that call, Sean, but obviously the sideline has no perspective.
Exactly. We can't be talking here. We just talk to each other. We talk about the game, and that's all here. And let's just take a look at that one more time, even though we are the sideline, but
the call was contested and back to thrower, but we can take a look at this Huck underneath right now. There was just, I'm not sure exactly where the contact was, but I think he feels like his arm was pushed down on the second attempt / initial jump. But it's going to go back here to number 22. The players are supposed to go back to where they were. We'll see what happens here, if they put it up again or if they can just play some unders offense.
Nice little break shot there from 22. 9 gives it back. 22 going every other. And just a bit of miscommunication again. Both of them understand that. Dino with one more chance. Mao with the disc. And a good run-through block there from Helios. Short field for Helios to work with here. Hopefully they can punch this one in.
I think Helios is starting to recognize that Dino's movement to the break side, and he was just able to get a nice read on that on the break side, which is great. This will be a hold for Helios if they are able to convert here. Oh, a nice inside shot and grab by Helios. I think both teams there had a little bit of miscomm. Dino had one in the end zone for the break where they just thought they were going up line and didn't, and then Helios had one, but they were able to get the turn back, which is great to see.
Yeah. Helios making it 6-11, I think. And we'll see here again. Nice inside shot.
Yeah, Helios did a good job of isolating that player at the top of the stack and just giving him the whole field to work with, really. And so by doing that, they were just able to isolate him and just hit a nice inside shot for the score. I think if I were the Helios coaches, I would be calling a zone here again. And we will see. I mean, obviously a big contested call on that last point with the layout second attempt. I think that maybe there was a little bit of contact that McCready felt. Not really sure, but either way, great second attempt by Helios to get that layout. The second time that that's happened, actually, they had the one down before where it just no one was able to get underneath it, and then they bid. That could be their new strategy. Who knows?
And we can see the Helios players. Number 22 is 3 on. 3 is on. And they're emptying the tank. This is their last game. Might as well get it all out of there.
I mean, that's what you have to do. First tournament of the season for a lot of these junior players, and this is the game for the championship. I mean, if you're Helios, though, you do know that you have another shot at this Dino matchup in BCUCs 2 weeks from now. And so it'll be interesting to see how they alter their game in 2 weeks from now when they play them again, hopefully. and if that is for the championship.
Yeah. And we have done it. Done it with the pull here. And time is about to go off, so this might be the last point. So it would be game 2, either 12 or 13.
Yeah,
Is that
depending
how it
on
works?
when Dino scores this and when the horn goes off, they'll either add 1, but you do have to finish the point out first. So
Yes.
we'll see when the horn goes off, and most likely game to 13 here we're looking at. Nice collect from Dino and centering pass. We'll see what Helios comes out with. It looks like they are doing their arrowhead zone, hoping to generate another break.
And Zhang with the disc here.
Follow the disc, Cohen. Follow the disc.
Gives it back out to Yip. Zhang again. Sends it to the side. No real motion from the Dino cutters, but handlers are doing their job. They're working it, sending it back and forth, gaining yards slow and steady.
Yeah, the Dino handlers are really just chiseling, playing very calm. They're being able to get into the middle of the arrowhead. Oh, and there is the horn.
So after this point, it should be a game to either 12 or 13.
Yes, depending on who scores this point. We'll
Yip
see.
with the disc.
Dino players is still being very calm, and Helios holding the zone.
We have 6-7 on the mark. Working hard there. It's Yip, Chua, Zhang, and Ezekiel.
Oh, and there they are,
All
able
working
to
at it.
find that one through the middle, which, a big bid by number 22, but just unfortunately a little delayed. So Dino has broken through, and we do hear that melt call from the Helios coach. So he'll be going into person, and Dino most likely going into end zone.
And once again, hopefully we can see this Helios contain the break side. But nice give and go, and just another miscommunication.
Maybe even a touch by the Helios player. The frisbee, oh, big hop comes up by Helios. 2 Dino players underneath and Kaz underneath. We'll see. Oh, and a nice, didn't even have to jump for that one.
Well, nonchalant grab out of the sky, like he's picking
And
berries.
now Helios has a chance here to break on Dino. Right on the doorstep. No real cutter movement, so we'll see what happens here. Just a reset back.
Oh, and unfortunate.
Big bid, but unfortunately just could not convert that one. They're resetting now into their zone. Dino players working backwards into their end zone. Last time, Dino was able to get through the middle, which really unlocked it for them, and there it is again. Once they get that through the middle pass, they're able to just work upfield, and they're doing a great job of these little give-goes. Even after that bobble. Oh, travel called there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he clapped and then caught it and then ran with it. But Dino's just doing a good job of maintaining their calm composure. Melt call from Helios. So Dino's just going into their person end zone.
13 with the disc. Back to Chua. Chua's been the center handle for this O-line. Really going every other. Nice grab there by Ezekiel. And here's that give and go that we're looking in. Just trying to force that again. Same throw.
I think the Helios defenders are baiting it a little bit as well. They just know that that's what Dino's looking for, and then they're able to kind of close in at the last second after the disc's been released. We'll see if Helios elects for a big throw up here. Oh, and just an unfortunate drop by Kaz. It looks like he just kind of got on the wrong side of that disc, and then Dino able to reel it in for the hold there. Honestly, that Helios D-line did a good job of generating turns on the Dino O-line, and then unfortunately, though, they were just not able to convert. We can take another look there at the Dino point.
There's an unfortunate drop there, and just maybe a force miscommunication.
I think so. I think Helios has been a little bit loose on their forces throughout this whole game and allowed Dino to kind of work on the break side. And it looks like that is game, because I guess the horn went off in the middle of the point.
I guess so.
That's all she wrote. So Dino takes the win at Misfit Cup with a 12-6 victory over Helios. So this has been Misfit Cup presented by Vancouver Ultimate. Find Ultimate programs for all ages and skill levels across Metro Vancouver at VUL.ca. Thank you again to JointWorks for sponsoring this event. They are a preferred athlete health provider of Vancouver Ultimate.
And Danae, thank you for hopping on this broadcast. I appreciate it. A lot of thoughtful insight, and thank you.
My pleasure, Shahan. Thanks
Of
for
course.
having me.
Of course, and we'll see you guys hopefully at PCUCs.
Yes.